Thanks for inviting me.
So you're watching the Get Busy Living podcast with the wonderful Anna Thellmann. So thank you so much, Anna, for coming on and sharing some gold nuggets with us of information that is with us today. So much appreciated for your time. So thank you again.
Well, thank you again. Yeah, because I've been here before, haven't I? So,
Yes, yes, sir.
so I was looking forward to when you asked me to come on again to do this with you because I enjoyed it the last time.
Yeah, so it's very interesting talking to you. So, and that's why I'm excited and thrilled that you're coming back on. So, tell us, and I'll start with the first question. So, tell us what gets you out of bed every day.
My dogs, I mean, literally, because
Yeah,
they need to go out. So they are the physical part that get me out of bed in the morning. But when we talk about mindset or mental, emotional, what gets me out of bed is I look forward to moving because I introduced to my morning routine when I walk the dogs to do a couple of exercises while I'm walking and being outside, particularly now in summer when it's green in our compound. I look forward to that. I look forward to move my body, to move my brain by watching what the dogs do, looking at people who pass me, or just seeing how nature has changed over the days or month. And that's what, because I thought about this question, that's what gets me out of bed. Just go outside and move.
yeah, that's well, yeah. You got to look after yourself first, and so you can help others as well. So I
Yeah.
get it. I understand. So, I see that you got there as your subtitle as your relationship mentor and coach. So tell us, how did you get into that?
Well, I think it's a story almost 30 years in the making. By
Yes, because
and
you've
it
jumped a
started.
few countries. Yeah, you've been to a few different lived
Yes,
in a few different countries.
yes. I'm now in China, in the north of China, and we're in summer over here. So today we're having 36 degrees. But becoming a relationship and mentor and coach, that it's, I think it started with my first relationship and then all the failed ones, failed marriage, the experiences I took, I learned. And then when in China, setting up my business and believing that I can do this, I can, with all this experience and my passion to help men and women to see that they are the problem in the relationship, but they are the solution as well. And helping them see that, accept that they can change their relationship. They don't need the partner to be part of it, or they don't need anyone to tell them what they need to do. It's in there already. And that was what I wanted to do. And here we are, 4.5 years later in business, doing exactly that.
Yeah, but tell us about your experience. So your relationships are very much experience based
Mm.
subject. So, well, take us back. So, where did you grow up? What country did you grow up in?
So I was born in Romania and I grew up in Germany. And then I moved to England and lived there over 11 years until I moved to China, where I'm been here now for 5.5 years, so almost 6 years in November.
So that's a lot of cultures. It's a lot of different cultures. Uh, when did you
Yes,
leave Romania? Were you very young?
I was 5 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
5 years.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and my parents, they wanted to have a better future for my siblings and I, and they said we can't stay here because it was under Ceausescu at the time, and it wasn't
Yeah.
the environment they wanted for us. So that's why they decided to leave everything behind and move to Germany and start from scratch, literally.
Yeah, well, they had. That's right. Romania had a coup in the 80s, and um,
Mm.
yes, I heard a lot of people had to leave, and yeah. So tell us about Germany. Do you? Do you remember much of it?
Yeah, I mean, Germany was for 24 years my home. The thing is, with Germany, I never felt at home. I always felt like I'm a visitor, but not because of the awareness that I had about, oh, I was born in Romania, my roots are somewhere else. It was more like the society and their mindset. It didn't really touch me. I always felt like this is let's go somewhere else. And that's when the opportunity came up to move to England, that's where I felt home for the first time. Like, this is my home. This is where I belong. This is amazing.
Well,
But then,
it's totally different place again. Totally different again from Germany. Different language. Although they say that most European countries, most people can speak a few different languages anyway, mainly because they're so close together.
the thing is, you learn it at school, but if you don't use it, or if you don't use it, then when you study or work, then you forget. And I remember moving to England, and I turned the telly on, and I couldn't understand anything. It was like, oh my God, what are we saying?
Yeah.
But of course,
they got a strong accent as well. I
the
suppose
yes, I couldn't understand the Scotch. It was like, no, I don't know what you're saying. Even when I had colleagues who were Scottish and they talked in their accent, it was like, I don't know what you're saying. I'm just leaving now because I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, true. I've worked with a couple of Irish as well, and Scottish, and some things you gotta. What did you say that again?
Yeah. But you learn, you get used to it. You get an ear for it, they say.
Yeah, that's right. And so you learned from those relationships. You obviously you went to England. Did you have a partner at the time?
Yes, I had a partner for over 5 years there, and that's where my main story comes in with relationship, because he was an alcoholic, but he didn't want to know that he was an alcoholic. But the many hidden vodka bottles, or Jackie, what's it called? The Jack Daniels bottles, they gave it away and being drunk for every night of the week. So there were strong indicators for me where I thought, you are an alcoholic. And even when I talked to him, he said, no, you're German, you don't know how to have fun. But that's a different story. The thing for me was that I thought I can fix him. I thought I can fix us. I thought I could change him to see me and then have this epiphany and think, oh my God, Anna, amazing that you're here. How couldn't I see you? But of course it didn't happen. And by losing myself in this relationship, by thinking of fixing him but forgetting about myself, that's when I left and took the time to learn, to get to know myself again, to learn who is this woman. Because I was 37 at the time, and at that age you think, oh, you should have children, you should be married, or still married, you should have this, you should have that. And it was for me like, I have none of that. But that's okay, because I have myself, and now I want to have me as my best friend and as my partner, as my go-to knight in shining armor.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. And so that was it. Just an epiphany? Was it just a realization, or what progressed from there? What happened after that?
After I left, the thing is, we still lived together. But for me, in my head, I had already gone through the breakup for months. So there was the disconnect from that space already there.
Yep.
And it was just this thought like, I want to love myself again. I want to be happy with myself again. And the conscious thought was, I don't want to date. I don't want to be in a relationship with anyone until I have that again, to just enjoy myself.
Yeah, gotcha.
Mm.
And I know what you mean. You just need some space just to figure out what you want, and the serendipity as well. You don't know what's going to happen around the corner, so you're hopeful, but you're also thinking there's always those doubts.
Yeah, but that's the thing for me. There wasn't any hope in the sense of that I was hoping I would meet someone new.
Yeah.
It was just no. Even if I stay by myself for the rest of my life, I want to be happy with myself. That was my main goal. That was all I wanted, to just believe myself again, trust myself again, to enjoy my own company again, and make life worth living for myself. That partner, no partner, I thought, doesn't matter. What happens, happens, but no, it's Anna time.
Yeah, that's yeah. I know what you're saying. You need to look after yourself. Then you can attract other people, have a better relationship. I get it. So what? So that you did a few things in England, didn't you? You were teaching. Is that right?
I was a coach. I was an apprenticeship coach at the local college.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what I did before we moved to China, and I absolutely loved it. That was because I had the qualifications already, and I did, like, with friends, family, etc. I did my coaching, my NLP stuff, but that was my first paid job as a coach, and I absolutely loved it. And coming then to China and not doing it was a hole in my heart. And that's why I set up my own business, to be able to do that again, because you need a visa here to work. And my business provides me a visa. So that was the perfect solution.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. And you moved to northern China. You've been there for a while now, but haven't you?
5.5 years.
Yeah, you've been there for a while. So, and that's why you needed the visa to go to China, or did you go somewhere else first?
No, from England, we went straight to China. But when we arrived, because you need a visa to come in or to work here. And at the beginning, during our look and see trip, I got a job as an English teacher. And that was amazing, because so I could come. I had no pressure. I had the visa, and I was teaching for a year. But like I said, that hole of not coaching, that just grew bigger. And when the opportunity arose to have my own business, I said, this is what I'm going to do. I quit my job, set up my business, get the visa from my business, and do what I love doing.
Very cool. Very cool. And could you speak any Mandarin? Could you speak?
I couldn't speak ni hao at the time. Yeah, I mean, that's what you know. But the thing is, as in every country, you have people here who are very accommodating and open, and you can talk with your hands and feet, and just by pointing at stuff, and they will support and help you. And then you have other people, particularly during COVID, who then saw a foreign face and said, just get out of my way. I don't want to even get close to you. I don't help you. Nothing to do with you.
Yeah, I understand. It's the same here.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It's the same with every country.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, so that what was I going to say? So so it took you a while to grasp the language over there.
I'm still learning. Come on, it's when I have my Chinese classes, and I learn new words, and of course I know now how to pronounce or how to set the tone with these 4 different tones. still making so many mistakes. And my Chinese teacher's like, Anna, this is the third tone, not the second. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, it's we had to learn some Mandarin for
Mm,
the characters, to learn the characters. Well, because especially with herbs, because
yeah.
herbs are in pinyin, and
Hmm.
pinyin is based on. But people in Japan can understand pinyin. Korea, you can go to Korea and they understand pinyin. Taiwan is the same. It's a universal language for the Asian countries. So we had to learn that, and it's like, oh god, and like you said, understanding the rise and fall and the flat tone and the stop
Mm,
tone.
yeah.
It's not easy to get a grasp of. Um, I'm still I haven't used it much lately, but in uni we had to use it a lot because we had to explain the herbs and what they were for and translate it into English as well. So I understand. I get it. So so you were teaching over there. So what made you get into what you're doing now, relationship coaching?
When I set up the business, what I had in mind from the experience after my ex-partner was, I had this idea that I want to help people to love themselves. So that was the overall idea. And that's how I set out as the self-love coach. And as it's with many businesses, I learned it's you grow, you develop, you figure out your path. And I came from self-love slowly into relationship because it was an ongoing topic when I talked about self-love, that relationships are so important, and the relationship with yourself, it's a relationship. And because I had so much experience with relationships and with how to accept who you are and be patient with yourself, etc., all of this that we pack into that word self-love, I thought, yeah, let's talk about relationships because it's everywhere. As soon as you interact with a person, you have a relationship, but you're the main character. So let's help people be okay with who they are in any relationship, may it be now intimate or professionally, or like we here, you and I, we have a relationship.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
So that's where we came from. And now I have clients, I help them with their intimate relationship with their partner, but also with their children, with their parents, with their friends. So it's not just the relationship you have with your romantic partner, it's relationships.
Yeah, so just elaborate on that. So there's obviously different types of relationships.
Hmm.
Have you? That's what you study.
What do you mean that's what you study?
So did you learn that like there's different types of love. There's the intimate love. There's the soul love. You, did you learn anything about that?
No, not about the soul love or the
No.
intimate
Okay.
love. No.
I learned that from my mentor. He's an acupuncturist, but he's a monk in India. So he learned a lot about inner peace and how to love yourself and with that peace, and
Hmm.
to when you do understand it yourself, then you can bring it to the fore with others as well, and
Yes.
how they can understand that. But so give us an example of how you would help someone in their relationship.
So what I
Anyway,
focus
sorry, is there any
on,
relationship problems that come up? And I'm sure there's plenty that And do you help more? I'll start with that question. So, what sort of problems do you see the most, relationship wise?
Relationship wise, that someone isn't accepting who they are. That's the main
Yep.
point. And that's what I also focus on. Not that we talk about it all the time, but my focus lies in accepting who you are. Because, like you just said from the monk, I think before self-love comes self-acceptance, to just be okay with the good, the bad, and the ugly that makes you you.
Yeah.
And
Content.
when yeah, and then it's like, this is what we're working with here. Okay, I'm okay with this. And that's the step. The other thing that I noticed is there is often a lack of gratitude when clients work with me, that they do their affirmations maybe or whatever, but there isn't really gratitude for what is now. What do I have? What can I say? Yeah, this is actually okay. And actually switch the focus from the lack to what do I have? What is here right now? What can I be grateful for? And the third part is the perspective, that they often are so in their me bubble, what's happening to me.
Yep.
And then I help them move out of that and said, okay, how can we look at this from a different angle so that we just explore what's outside this bubble?
Yeah, that's a tough one for a lot of people to do.
Mm.
And when it's really ingrained, they don't understand what you're talking about. What? I think about
Yeah,
people all the time. I think about people all the time. I don't think about myself.
but it's not just about thinking about other people. It's also you can think about yourself, but a different perspective. Not just, oh, this is happening to me, poor me, but how else could I see? Oh, there's a challenge, I could learn something. So
Yep.
even that little.
Yeah, it's all about perception.
Mm.
So yeah, we get dealt bad cards, but if you if you think, it depends on how you think about it. If you think that this is the be all and end all, I can't negotiate with this, I just don't know what to do. Well then, yeah, that's the way it's going to be. But if you think, oh no, that we can see what we can do about this, we'll try something new and think about what I can do to overcome this, instead of just concentrating on the problem. See what the not just one solution, but many solutions. How we can look at it in a different way.
Mm. Yes, and often we forget that everything that happens, it's neutral, and what
Yes.
we believe, that's what we make it mean.
Yeah.
So your thoughts create your reality. I think that's a very popular quote, and that's the case, because you give everything that's happening to you, what's happening around you, meaning. And with that little bit a tweak of perspective, we create a new reality.
Yeah. Exactly right. And so yeah. Yes. Yeah. And that's through perception. You're basically creating a positive environment for yourself
Mm.
by just thinking in a different way, instead of because it took me a long time to break that way of thinking, because I always, you know, especially around money, finances is a classic. Where do you think I'm made of money? I used to get that all the time. When you'd ask for something, or go out, get a job, and work hard, and pay your taxes. Save
Mm.
up, save hard. That's it. Save hard and pay your taxes. Now I think to myself, what? What was I? Yeah, but that's what my parents were taught. That's what
Mm.
they were told. And it's not their fault, because they were told the same thing. And now I have to break that chain. I have to break that mentality.
Mm.
especially around money. Everyone has fear around money. But then when I started to realize that it's not real anyway, it's just paper. And the promissory notes, and I found out more about that. Then it takes away all the fear, and then
Yeah.
you look at things differently.
Mm. Yeah.
You look at everything differently, actually. So tell us about. So that's one problem. Look it up. Looking for other people, like you said, those three categories. So what are they again? So those three categories again.
Gratitude, acceptance, perspective.
Perspective, yeah, yeah. That's perfect. So tell us. Is it more the what do you see the most? Is it people that are actually already broken up, or is it people in the process of breaking up? Is that what you see a lot of?
No. And like I said, also have a father who wanted to have a better relationship with his daughter, or
Yep.
another man who was separated and they had a child and he wanted to have a better relationship with his ex-wife, just so the co-parenting works better.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and I have clients who had one of them had a long list of illness, and
Oh, right.
he wants to have a better relationship with his body, because that's
Okay.
the enemy. And he said, help me to accept who I am actually in the end. Yeah, we come back to that. So I also have couples. So I also have couples where I have both of them, and every now and again we come together and talk, the three of us, about what's going on in the relationship. But I prefer to work with them separately and then come together as three, as constantly
Yep.
together.
Is that to put things in place for them individually first, and
Yeah.
then
So that
so when they come together, then they're more prepared. Is that right?
they are more aware of their
Yeah.
patterns and who they are and what they want, and can communicate it then more clearly to the partner.
Yeah, gotcha.
My experience, at least.
Yes, and yeah. um, so that's very true. I never even thought of that. That even though people are they want to have better relationships with their ex partners because they have children together. Yeah, I never even thought of that. Because that's so common. That's so common. And the problem is people are in the woe is me. I'm separated now and I don't get to see my child much. But like you said, if they're using proactive steps in trying to understand why the relationship broke down in the first place, um, then they can understand how they can work together to raise the child together. That's pretty cool. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Because not many people would think that.
Mm,
Not
yeah.
many people. I've got friends that they would never ever think something like that. I would
Yeah,
go to
but
a relationship coach to get back with my ex. That's why I got away from my ex. That's what they think. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. But it's always the price you want to pay, isn't it? Do you
Yes.
pay an expert to help you to have peace of mind and a good relationship, or do you pay to have that constant interaction with that person that doesn't satisfy you, that is tension, and that is
Yeah.
mentally and emotionally, physically, maybe even draining? So it's like, it's your choice.
Yeah. That's very true. Yes. And that's the big problem, isn't it? But it comes back to what you said. Those three things: the looking at yourself inward and finding out how you can be content with yourself. So then
Yeah.
you can be content with others.
Yeah.
It makes it easier, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Very true. So, have you ever actually? It's a question. I never even thought of this. But so, have you ever been brought into court cases or anything like that? So, to say, well, these guys are actually trying to work together. They're trying to help each other
No,
for their children.
no,
Okay.
no. I work with a lawyer, a divorce lawyer,
Oh yeah.
in the sense of that we're collaborating. So when he has
Yes.
clients,
Understand.
he
Yeah.
says, "Do you want to have that emotional and mental support? This
Yeah.
is what she does. Here you go." So in that sense, yes, but never been to court or anything like that.
But you know what I mean. Maybe even just a report. I think that would be, just to say that, yeah, here they are. They've been doing this for 3 months together, and this is what they have achieved. And
Mm. No,
wow.
no. I do that with the hospitals that I work
Oh wow.
with
Okay.
the patients.
Yep.
That yes, but no court.
Tell us about that. That's interesting.
Well, I work with two local international hospitals here.
Yep.
And when they have clients, in particular, for example, the one clinic is a women's hospital. And when they have clients who had miscarriages or who have
Yep.
are pregnant and say, okay, I want to have that emotional and mental support, or just who have a rough time for whatever reason, they then call me and say, please have a chat with them. And it's like this first chat to just explain to them what I'm doing, how I could help them, and then continue from there. And with the other clinic, that's like a GP, so a general
Yep.
practice.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
yeah, and they are more, if they have clients or if the doctors feel like, I think it would be great if you would support, then they recommend it and they ask me, they call me, and I go in and talk to the client, to the patient.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Mm.
So, okay, so it's all types of, even trauma as well. You help with that as well,
Yes, yes.
because yeah, that's what it sounds like. Um, so yeah, ladies that are wanting to abort as well, abort their babies. What's the view in China actually about abortions? Are they pro or are they? Because in
No,
Australia they're pro.
they are
They
not.
don't.
As far as I know, they are not.
Is it against the law or
Um, it's frowned upon. I think
frowned
that's
upon?
the
Okay.
terminology. Yeah, so you can do it and can pay for it. You can get it done, but it's of course it's from the culture. It's a disgrace for the family.
Yeah. Yes, I understand. Yeah,
Um,
it
it's
was like Australia. That was like Australia back in the 50s and 60s and prior.
mm,
It was exactly the same. Yeah, it's just changed here over the last 30, 40 years.
yeah.
The mentality around that. It's more accepted here now, and
Mm.
it's not illegal. You can't be prosecuted for it. So that's interesting. I didn't know that. So and okay, so yeah, okay, and you would see, yeah, you would see a lot of distressed women, especially.
Yeah.
What about men? Do you see many men in the same, especially with couples?
Yes.
Yeah, they're in the same boat. Yeah, gotcha. Um, yeah, so did I. I worked in hospitals, so I saw it. I saw it
Mhm.
both ways as well. And yeah, some of the things I got some stories about what happened in hospitals. But oh, well, that was interesting to see what Anna had actually been working in. Yeah, hospitals, international hospitals. Um, and as you can see, that Anna is working with a lot of different types of people. I didn't realize that she was working in international hospitals, and that she was helping with trauma patients. So that's news. I didn't know that. That's magic that she is. She's back again. she's back again. So um,
That was a surprise.
it was still streaming on your end, so it was still streaming on LinkedIn.
Interesting.
So yeah, so tell us a bit more. So, have you got any unusual stories?
So I've been asked from one potential client if they could come to the sessions naked.
Okay,
And that's why
that is unusual.
Now when I have private clients, I have my do's and don't lists, yeah, and there is wear clothes. That's a
that's a prerequisite.
That's a weak prerequisite. It's like, no, because I thought about this question when that gentleman asked me, and I thought, how does it make me feel? What comes up when I think about a person on the other side being naked? And of course, there was this thought about, well, it depends how much I see. Maybe if I just see from here upwards, it would be fine. But then I thought, I don't think I want that. Let's just say no. It's too many question marks about what if they stand up, or what if they, you never know. You'll never know. So I thought, no, that's not working for me.
That's in the weird category. That is in the And what about like meeting in strange places? Have you had clients that are asked to do that?
No, I don't do that. So we meet online, or I meet them at the clinics.
Yeah.
Or there's one client, she lives nearby, and I know her, or I knew her before, and so I go there. But apart from that, it's like just official places.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I agree with you. I'm mobile, so I go to people's houses, so you get to see all sorts. But what was I going to say? But I'm a male too. In saying that, I'm a male, so it's a little bit easier for me. It would be harder for you, I suspect. But so tell us some. Well, let's get away from the weird. So tell us how you've helped someone else as well in a relationship.
So an easy story is I had a couple once, and I started with the husband first.
Yep.
And he was like, my wife, she wants me to do this. And so here I am. I'm clocking my hours. I said, fair enough. You're here. I do whatever I can. And then she started coming to see me as well. And for her, it was more like talking to someone about what happened.
Did he refer her? Did he say, I would like you to see my wife as well?
He told her about what we were talking, and she noticed a difference.
Oh,
and
wow.
She said, I want that as well. So that's when she came. And
excellent.
And then for her, it was more like just talking about everything that bothered her, just having someone to listen. And I've noticed some people need that. They first need to let everything out for 1, 2, or 3 sessions, and then we can go into, okay, now let's get into what's behind all of that. So we did that, and then after a couple of weeks, I got them both together, and then I said, okay, now let's have a date night. Let's plan a date night so that you two have time together. And then we went through a little process where we went step by step, detail by detail. What should she wear? What should he wear? What is a no-go? What is a must-have? And so they could see themselves, picture themselves on that day, on that date, and look forward to it. And that was beautiful because they did it and they enjoyed it so much. And because they had all these rules discussed and clarified before, like she wanted him to look nice. And so what does nice mean? Is it okay if he wears a clean shirt, or can it be a t-shirt, oh, polo shirt? What? Explain it to us. And he was like, this is what looks nice to you, when she explained to him exactly. And then he said, but I'm not wearing a suit, forget it. And then we came to the point that for her it was important what shoes he was wearing. Said, okay, so what kind of shoes? And then she explained it to him, and I said, are you willing to wear that type of shoes on that date night? He said, yeah, I can do that. If I can wear my khaki trousers and my polo shirts, I can do those shoes. So amazing.
Just by negotiation. And that's
Yes,
pretty much
just
what we come back to.
because that's, I mean, you know this, how important words are. And when we say, look, I want you to look nice, what does it mean? It looks nice, looks to me different than to you. So by specifying, even when we talk about loyalty, about cheating, about trust, it means different things to different people. So, and that's often what I've noticed between couples. They don't define what they mean. They just use words that they think explain everything.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. What else was I going to say? So, and that actually made them more. What do you call it?
Connected
More,
emotionally.
more open to talk to each other about.
Yeah, because they saw the results. They had that date and they enjoyed it, and because there was no annoyance about what he was wearing or what she was wearing, and all of that was out of the way, they saw the benefits immediately. And then they continued with defining what they want from each other.
Yeah, gotcha. Gotcha. Well, that's pretty cool. So, what was I going to say? What else? Tell us about another. Any trauma patients that you've helped with? Because this is quite common now. It's becoming more and more common.
Yeah, so I had recently I had a client, and he had to go into emergency surgery here in Shenyang.
Yeah,
And
gotcha.
his experience about the whole hospitalization and how the staff treated him and how everything went from before the surgery, aftercare, etc. So he was just in shock and traumatized. That's what he said. I can't sleep at night. I go through all of this and I don't understand. And so many questions kept him awake, and he felt like a victim. He felt like he has been emotionally abused by
Yep.
the event, by what happened. And
Oh,
so
wow.
we worked on that to calm him first down, to then be able to talk about it and
Yep.
take away that deep physical emotion.
Okay. And what was the result? Did he stay longer for the treatment, or?
Yes, he wanted to finish his treatment because he said, of course, I want to get better. But the goal for him was to don't go to the aftercare with all this, he called it hate and distrust and resentment, because that stressed him physically and emotionally, of course. To then he said, I don't trust this doctor, I don't trust these nurses, I don't trust these people. And we wanted to calm that down so that he can go and at least be neutral about the experience that's going to happen, and don't come back home and start the cycle from the beginning.
Yeah, right. Okay. Why did he feel that way? Did he say?
what he compared a lot of things that happened with China or Germany. In Germany, that would never have happened. And in China, this happened. So there is often this cultural excuse, I like to call it, that experts compare that they believe in Germany this would never have happened.
Yeah.
Even though there is no immediate comparison, like I had this done there, I had this done here, and this is the comparison. It's more like this wouldn't have happened. So it's this imagination, the story they make up, that it wouldn't have happened there, but it happened here. And this is causing me a lot of distress. I don't trust these people. But I guess the distrust was there before. So it's not just this scenario, this event. It's a build-up.
Yeah, I understand. Okay. So it's his perception, basically.
Yeah.
His perception of what should have happened instead of what actually happened. So it's a different, yeah. I understand. I get it. You go into a different country, you're going to expect different service, different ideals. I know, especially in China, they have, but not all hospitals, but some hospitals they have, like if you have a cardiology unit on one level, they'll have on one side the conventional medicine side, and on the other side they'll have the traditional medicine on the other side, and they work together. And if you're a foreigner and if you're like, what are you doing to me? Why are you sticking needles into me? Why are you giving me herbs? It would be very foreign. You wouldn't understand because we don't get that here. There's no such thing. It's all conventional medicine. There's no such thing as crossing over in medicines.
Yeah, and of course the language barrier.
As
and
well.
You can't express what you want to say, and just have to trust that the lady that is with you, that's translating, tells you what the doctor says, and that she tells them what you are saying in a way that makes sense. Yeah, that actually reflects what's happening.
Yeah, true. Yeah, very, very true. So tell us about one more, if you got another one that you can think of. One that sticks out that you go, wow, that was a really good result. That was a great result.
Like the gentleman I worked with, and he wanted to have a better relationship with his family, particularly with his brother. He said that his brother, he goes on his nerves. So when he knows that his brother is at a family event, at his parents, it's like, oh my God, I don't even want to go in there. So we worked on that. Where is that coming from? What does it mean? And how can we let go of it? And we worked through it. And after 6 months, he was like, I can have I now even can have a joke with him. I can listen to him, whatever he says. There is no buildup of any feelings, negative thoughts to I have to leave, or what the fuck are you talking about now? So it's just like, yeah, entertain us. It's okay. And that, I think, is the contrast was just so different from when he started working with me and when we finished, that he was like, now I can just go. I can look forward to seeing him and be genuinely happy to see him.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, well, I think the other thing is we forget what when there's some incident can sour our understanding of what that person was like. But when you summon up about, especially family's the hardest one. But when you summon up about your family, you think to yourself, well, that incident wasn't that bad. Look, yeah, okay, it did this to me or made me feel like this. But they did this for me. They did this to me. They did this for me. They did this for me. And the pros were actually better than the cons. So yeah, that comes back to the perception of weighing up all the good things that they did for me in comparison to that one bad thing that we
No,
always
I don't do that, because that's judgment, isn't it? So in
Yeah,
my eyes, that's
so
and I don't like that, because then you fall into this, you did this, now I like you, you did this not, so I don't like you. And for me, I believe it causes too much confusion and stress. And what I worked with him, what I focused with him again, is self-acceptance, to first of all accept who you are. What don't you like about yourself? What do you like about yourself? What are the things that you try to hide from yourself? And be okay with that. And as soon as he could be okay with all the ugly things, there wasn't any pull anymore to hide his brother.
Yeah, I understand.
And
I understand.
so that we can keep that other person out of it, and we don't need to, you did good things, you did bad. It's just like, no, you're not even in this all of stuff. It's just about that one person, and what do you do with yourself.
That's excellent. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. That's very true, because it's otherwise it's a fleeting moment. It's a fleeting thought and feeling. It shouldn't control your thoughts about that person forever.
Yeah, exactly. And you're always waiting to, like, people like to say, you need to earn trust. You need to earn my trust. And that's when they do these lists of what did you, what didn't you? What do I declare as good? What do I declare as bad? And so you judge constantly that other person's behavior. And if you're on a good day, you say, okay, this was okay. But on a bad day, no, everything was bad. So it's very subjective and mood depending.
That's very true. Very, very true.
Or have you had a good meal or not? How's the vibe here? But if you leave that and just say, okay, let's start with me, you don't these lists, and you don't need to earn the trust. Trust is given and then maybe taken away when it's betrayed. But you can just offer it. It's like, here is it.
That's beautiful. All right, Anna. So tell us who you're looking for. Who's your ideal client?
My ideal client is the person who is ready to accept who they are, even though they have no idea how they do that and what does that even mean, but they know that there is this pull, that there's something missing. And I want to get that, because I know that I can have the life, the relationship that I want. And then they come to me, and then we get there.
That's cool. And then that they refer as well. That's magic. So and the last question. So what ideas or information would you give to provide lifelong longevity? I'm pretty sure I got the answer already.
Well, I come back to GAP: gratitude, acceptance, perspective.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Bridge the gap.
Anna, it's been a pleasure again, and I could talk to you all day. I much appreciated your time, and thank you so much. And you gave us some gold nuggets today. So how do we get in touch with you? So this is your website, is that right?
That's my Linktree.
Linktree, yep.
And there is my website. There is the link to book a consultation, to the online group coaching program that I'm preparing that will become alive end of August. There's a link to my book. So there's everything on there.
You got a book as well. What's it called?
Beyond Dependence.
Beyond Dependence, yeah. Okay. All right. So thank you so much, Anna, and we appreciate that you came on. And if no one actually came on, so I'm a bit disappointed. But if they did, we were going to give them access to my bronze membership. That's on my health club. It's worth $11 for 1 month. You get it for free. We're going to give it to you for free anyway, Anna.
Thank you.
And much appreciated. And thank you so much for coming on. And as I said, we'll give you the links as well to our platforms. But we've got it on your platform as well, so you can share it as well on your LinkedIn platform. So much appreciated, Anna. Thank you so much for coming on. And yeah, I got nothing.
Until next time.
Yeah, until next time. Yeah, you're more than welcome to come back. Thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. You've been watching the Get Busy Living podcast, and you have a great day.